Life, sweet life, sweet life, sweet life.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be making some Squid Games inspired sugar cookies. So I'm starting out with my sugar cookie dough. You guys know I have two videos on how I make my 5 ingredient 15-minute cookie dough. So I will link my latest video below so you can get the recipe to how to make this absolutely easy cookie dough. So I'm just rolling out the cookie dough with some extra all-purpose flour so it doesn't stick to my hands, and then I'm going to use a circle cookie cutter that's a part of my stack set that I will link below, and I'm just going to cut out 4 circles, and then those 4 cookies are going to go onto a baking sheet and into a preheated 350 oven for 10 minutes. Now we're going to start prepping our fondant that we're going to top our cookies with. So the actual candy from the game is actually made from sugar and cornstarch, which makes almost like a caramel, like a hard caramel. So we're going to try to imitate that color. So I'm starting out with some bright yellow fondant, but we're going to lighten it up with a little bit of white fondant because the color of the cookies are yellow, but it's not a bright yellow. It's more of a honey yellow, like a golden yellow. So we're going to lighten it up with white. And then once I feel like I get it to the desired yellow color, I'm actually going to add a little bit of red to turn it more into that golden honey color. I'm just coating the fondant with shortening so it doesn't stick to my hands. And I'm just adding a little bit of that red fondant at a time until I get to that golden honey color that I'm actually trying to achieve. So now that we've got that desired golden honeycomb color, as you can see, we actually made it more golden. It's not as bright. So we're actually going to roll that out now, and we're going to use that same cookie cutter that we used to cut out the cookies, and we're going to cut out 4 circles, and those are what we're going to top our cookies with when they come out the oven and after they cool. So now I'm just using my X-Acto knife to clean up around those cookies. And guys, I am absolutely obsessed with this series. Are you guys currently watching it, or have you already finished it? Comment down below. I am like on I'm like on episode 6, I believe, and I am obsessed. So I'm making these actually for my boyfriend. They're not actually for anyone. I just thought they'll be cool for me to give to him because we both are just like obsessed with watching it. So now I'm using a royal icing mix, which is basically just powdered sugar and water, and that's what I'm brushing on each cookie, and that's what I'm going to use to stick the fondant to each cookie. And there we have it, guys. We topped the 4 cookies with that golden fondant that we made. And so now the next step is I'm going to actually use cookie cutters to put the indentation of the shapes into each one of the cookies. So I'm going to use those cookie cutters and lightly press down. You don't want to press down too hard because you don't want to actually break your cookie. You literally just want to put an indentation into the fondant, and if it's not deep enough, you can always use a styling tool or a butter knife to make it deeper, but you don't want to press harder with the actual cookie cutter because you don't want to risk actually breaking your cookie. For the last triangle, I'm actually just going to make a triangle with my styling tool. I didn't have a triangle cookie cutter that was the right size. I had really small ones and then really big ones, but I didn't have one this size. So since a triangle is an easy shape to make, I'm just using my styling tool. Like I said, you can use a butter knife to do this as well. I was actually really shocked that I actually had that umbrella cutter already. Okay, guys, we got our 4 shapes for the 4 teams. So now, because we're trying to make it look like that caramel candy, that candy is actually shiny. So our fondant is too dull. So I'm using a mixture of half vodka and half cornstarch. And that's what we're going to use to shine up this fondant because we want it to be shiny like the candy in the movie. Fondant is just too dull and too like one-dimensional. So if you ever need to shine up your fondant, make it shiny, you actually can use a half cornstarch, half alcohol mix, and that will give you a nice gloss. And these will actually, when they dry, they will still be glossy. So we're going to just shine those up because we're trying to make these cookies look as much like the candy from the game as possible. Okay, guys, so we got our cookies nice and shiny, looking more and more like the candy. So we have one more step. So like I said, it's a cooked sugar. So whenever you cook sugar or caramel, it actually gets a little darker around the edges. So if you do look at the candy from the movie, it is a little darker. So we're taking just a little bit of brown food coloring with that same brush that we were using to brush the cornstarch mix. And we're just going to brush around those edges because we want to make it just a little bit darker around the edges, just to give it a little bit more dimension because the candy is cooked and it's a little bit more brown around the edges. So I'm just putting just a little bit. And our brush is already wet from the cornstarch and vodka mix. So that's why I'm just dabbing it in that brown just a little bit, just to make the edges a little darker than the rest of the cookie, so we can make it look even more like that cooked caramel. And there we have it, guys. We have our little Squid Game themed cookies. And how easy were they to make? These would make such cute Halloween party favors, or if you want to do a Squid Game themed like game night or something, such cute party favors. You can place them on your dessert table. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.
A sweet, sweet, sweet